What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome to the six-man show Postgame Live presented by Rock'em. Well, that's one way to do it, I guess. Magic win 102-86 over the Charlotte Hornets. Last game before the All-Star break. That's great. That's fine. That's cool. That's lovely. But it wasn't always pretty. Like, the final score looks nice, and we're gonna celebrate a win, and we're gonna play the song and all those things. But wow. That second quarter made you question everything, just about. Yeah, welcome to the show. This is the Six-Man Show Postgame Live. It's our live postgame show after every Orlando Magic game. My name's Kevin. Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. It's going to be a short and sweet one, just because, yeah, you can't really take a whole lot from this game. Like, even if the Magic won by 100, I mean, look at who the Hornets played tonight. I don't mean who they played against. I mean who they put on the court tonight. Not a great basketball team. So we're not going to pull too much from it. And plus, Jonathan and I are going to record the six-man show here in just a little bit. So you have that to look forward to as well. But before we talk about that, before we talk about this game, I got to tell you about Rock'em. Actually, before I tell you about Rock'em, I need to show you Rock'em. Rock'em, they're obviously the sponsor of the show. We talk about them every single time we get on here, and that's great. They deserve it. I have to show you something, though. One of my favorite parts about Rock'em is how fast, how quick they are. With not just like cool looking stuff, but relevant stuff, right? They put out some pretty funny things. They're pretty much, they always like to follow pop culture, I guess might be a good way to put it. Pop culture and things that are currently relevant. Right now I'm selling because I can't find what I found earlier. I'm going to have to find it somewhere. Here it is. Is this? Oh, here it is. Okay. Guys, I have to show you what Rock'em put out. Guys, the Super Bowl was Sunday night, okay? Less than 48 hours later, look at what you can get at Rock'em.com. Oh, and the caption is, "Say Drake, I heard you like these socks." Oh my gosh, look at these. Some Kendrick Lamar socks straight out of the halftime show. That is wild. Absolutely crazy stuff from Rock'em. Again, this is why I love Rock'em. Not just because they're a Central Florida company and they are also a sponsor of the Magic, and they do Magic stuff that you can buy at Rock'em.com. But also they are just so funny and so creative. Like, that is insane. That is insane. So shout out to Rock'em. And yeah, if you want to shop at Rock'em.com, just use this code MAGIC20. It gets you 20% off your order. At Rock'em.com all season long. Oh, gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, big shout out to Rock'em for sponsoring the show. Oh, excuse me, guys. Struggling. Here we go. We got a super chat. This one's from Luis Rosario. Says, finally a quality win. Play the song. Yes, for just a moment, for a few seconds, we're going to remove any questions anyone has about this team. Any concerns, any doubts, because we can just enjoy the song. Let's go. Oh, it's always nice to hear that song, especially, again, after the last few weeks the Magic have had. It's great to hear that song. All right, so this game, like I said at the top, like, I just refuse. I refuse to get too excited about this, right? Like, yeah, you win comfortably in the end, right? But that second quarter just, like, ruined it for me. I'll just be brutally honest. Like, again, I'm going to be happy with the win. I'm going to be satisfied. A win is a win at this point of the season. You're going to the All-Star break, all those things. However, that second quarter has left a really, really bad taste in my mouth. In my opinion, this game should have never been close, and you certainly should not have been trailing at any point, and certainly probably should have put this game over at the end of the first quarter, which the Magic were up at the end of the first quarter. I think they were up 8 after 1, and you go, okay, That's pretty decent. You multiply that by the other 4 quarters, you can win this game by 30 plus, which makes a lot of sense, right? Like, go do that. Go win this game by 30 plus. But that second quarter, man, I don't even know. Let me find out what that ended up being, that second quarter, because again, that was not great. What was it? 26-16 in favor of the Hornets. Now, again, in the grand scheme of things, the Magic won the first, third, and fourth quarters. So I'm not going to sit here and be too Debbie Downer and I'm not going to totally pick this apart. But the problem is that second quarter looked like the last several weeks have looked. And so I think that's what kind of had me scared. But hey, the Magic, got to give them credit. Third quarter, they came out, won that quarter 33-19, reestablished the lead, and didn't look back after that, as they also won the fourth quarter. So outside of that second quarter, Magic had a pretty nice day there against this version of the Charlotte Hornets, which isn't even the full Charlotte Hornets. But anyway. All right, let's see what the chat says here tonight. Again, this will be a little bit of a shorter show, especially because we're about to record the 6-man show after this. But yeah, let's see what the chat says about tonight. Another Kevin says, tough second quarter, but glad to see the team turn it around in the second half. AB was fantastic, and Jet played well too. Got to give those guys room to grow. Yeah, I mean, shout out to those two guys. Again, it's very interesting, especially a guy like Jet right now. His playing time is just so up and down. What did they say? He hadn't played since February, what did he say, 6th in Denver, right? I mean, that was a blowout. That's kind of why he came in. But, his playing time's just all over the place. And so credit to him. He came in, knocked down some shots, and here we are. I know I said I was going to go to the chat. I didn't even mention the whole KCP thing. How about KCP getting ejected in the first half of this game for 2 technicals? Like, if you've watched this show for any length of time, I believe you have to earn technicals. Like, if you're going to go out there and that's a whole different conversation. Whatever. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. Can't do it. Focus. Here we go. Wow, there's another Kevin in the chat. Look at all these Kevins. Kevin's uniting here. This says, hopefully all our guys can rest during this break and we make some noise from this point on. Go Magic. Yeah. That is the hope. Because boy, do we need this break. Yeah. Big times. Turquoise says, farted on the Hornets. Okay, that's one way to look at it. That's for sure. That is for sure. Lots of people like the socks that we just showcased there. The Kendrick Lamar socks at rock'em.com. Pretty fun. Alexander Wilcox says, my 6-man show shirt came in today. Yes, the 6-man long sleeve got shipped out earlier this week. And so some of you are starting to receive those. Hey, if you get those, definitely, take a picture, tag us on social media. We'll share it. Pretty cool. Glad you got that. Definitely enjoy it. Duval says, should have been a blowout. Yeah, that's kind of where I am, man. Like, it's hard for me to get too excited, too wound up about this particular game. Again, I try not to downplay it because, again, the Magic won 3 of the 4 quarters. And so on a typical NBA night, you say that's good enough. But again, tonight this is not a typical night. That's a G League Hornets team over there that you let hang around for half a game. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. I don't know, but it's just how I'm feeling. Let's see, a couple more thoughts here, and we're gonna go check out the box score. Let's see. Duval also says, like Paolo said in the postgame, everyone is important. 100% facts about that. Look, I'm never going to downplay that. Everyone is important, and right now, a win is a win no matter how you can get it. So we'll take it. But, yeah, sometimes you just wish it looked a little bit different. Jess says, hit the like button, Magic Maniacs. Thank you, Jess. Appreciate that. Yeah, what a great reminder. Please hit that like button. Always appreciate it. It helps out The channel, which ultimately helps other Orlando Magic fans find this amazing community that you all have built up of the best Magic Maniacs on the planet. Swordfish says, should have been a 50-point blowout. Yeah. That would have been more ideal. Janine says, I was waiting for the KCP Tech discussion. Okay, fine. I'm going to go there. Janine. If you've watched this show over the last couple of years, I am of the thinking that you have to earn the right to get techs, right? Like, it's one thing if a ref makes if a ref is very sensitive and they make a rushed call and you didn't do anything on purpose to get a tech, you just whatever, right? That's different. Something like this where maybe that first tech, again, maybe it was soft. It was a double tech. Like, okay, fine. That happens in basketball. But for KCP to not drop it and to keep going, knowing that he's towing the line of getting a second tech and therefore being ejected, that's the kind of stuff, like, you have to play to a certain level to earn that from me, right? Like, if you're playing well and you just get fired up and want to send a message, prove a point, whatever, okay, fine, like, whatever. But the way that KCP has played this season, that does not earn you the freedom to do that, right? I mean, that's something I talked about in the first half of the season where KCP was top 5 in the league in techs. Like, just handing the other team points while you're not playing well is not good enough. And so, again, that's a much bigger discussion, but I was not happy with that KCP thing, man. Not at all. We got a couple super chats that popped in while I was running my mouth. This one's from Shane. Says, we need to get back to this level defense. Go Magic. Yes, Shane, we do. The problem is, again, the team we played tonight is not really a real NBA team. Let's be honest. And so, yes, you held them to 86 points, but a real NBA team would have scored way more. And I don't mean that as disrespect to the Charlotte Hornets. They are just missing everybody. They are like, their roster makeup right now is pretty similar to the Magic's back in late December when we were missing everybody. Thank you for that super chat. We got another one from Evelyn. Says, not sure if you've done it already, but can you give your thoughts on what Windhorst said about Weltman? Thank you for that super chat, Evelyn. I have not given my thoughts on this show. Jonathan and I talked about it at length on the last episode of the Six Man Show. I think that's when we talked about it on Monday. Pretty sure. So yeah, I think we did. And now I'm second guessing everything. We talked a lot about the deadline and that kind of stuff on Monday's episode of the Six Man Show. So definitely check that out. In a nutshell, though, I will say that the thoughts from Windhorst did not really surprise me, which some people interpret that as a dig. Some people might not. I don't know. But I've just never thought of Jeff Weltman as the kind of guy to be super aggressive, calling a bunch of teams to make a trade. Like, it's just never been, really how I perceived him. Jonathan just told me we still have not talked about the Windhorst thing. I guess that must have come out after Monday's show. So Evelyn, no, we haven't talked about that. So here's the thing. I can promise you on tonight, after we're done with this, Jonathan and I are going to record the next episode of the Six Man Show. We are going to talk at length about that then. Jonathan and I have talked at length about it, all right, off the air. So we're going to carry that over to on the air, and definitely can tune into that tomorrow. But it didn't really surprise me, which, again, some people will see as a dig. We'll talk more about that on the Six Man Show. But thank you so much for that super chat. And then we have Nikki Nunu says, love my shirt. Nikki Nunu, thank you so much for ordering a shirt. And so glad it got to you and glad you love it. Can't wait to see you and a bunch of other Magic Maniacs wearing that over the course of the next few weeks. All right, let's see. Last couple of thoughts here from the chat before we go look at the box score. Buckin says KCP got ejected and then the team looked good. Yeah, looked okay. Looked okay. Let's see. Jolly says Jet was good tonight. Yeah, I mean, let's actually, you know what? Actually, let's do this. This is a great time to go to the box score. Let's do that. Because I do want to see what Jet ended up doing tonight. Let's see here. Franz ended up with 16 points on 6 of 11 from the field in 31 minutes, along with 7 boards and 2 assists, 4 turnovers for Franz. Yikes. A little high for him. But Paolo, 24 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, 8 of 20 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3 for Paolo. Sheesh. How about that? Back-to-back really good 3-point shooting games from Paolo. Goga with only 1 point tonight. KCP, we just talked about him, 2 points in 16 minutes before getting tossed. Cole Anthony, 13 points, 6 boards, only 1 turnover in 22 minutes. Cole has been... outside of the Denver game last week, Cole has been, I think, consistently good for about a week now, I guess. And I don't mean that like sarcastically or facetiously. I mean that genuinely, right? Like, how many times have I said on this show, or Jonathan has said on the Six Man Show, or many other fans have said, we know what Cole Anthony is capable of. He's just not been consistent for over a year now. And that is why I think a lot of people have been frustrated with Cole. But if this Cole that we've had over the last week is what we have the rest of the season, I mean, that's a serious weapon to have in your arsenal. So shout out to Cole. I'm going to give Cole credit because, you know, we've criticized him for sure on this show over the course of the season. And I think that's rightfully so. Cole has criticized himself. But when he plays well, I'm going to call it out. And so shout out to Cole for a really good week this past week. Week-ish. Gary. Gary, whatever. Look at that. Ofer gets 1 block. That's his only stat in 12 minutes. That is just hard to believe, man. Wendell, I thought was good tonight. 11 points, 11 boards in 27 minutes. He'll take that. AB, another really good night for him. That's 2 out of the last 3 games. AB's been really, really good. 18 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. 8 of 13 from the field. 2 of 4 from 3. Great night from him. Jet Howard, 2 of 8 from the field tonight for 6 points. He came in and played 25 minutes. Again, it's got to be tough playing 0 minutes for a week and then playing 25. It's got to be tough. Tristan only gets 8 minutes tonight, which... interesting. Caleb Houston came in that 4th quarter and knocked down a couple threes. Shout out to him. And then Trevelyan Queen and Corey Joseph got some late game run there after, especially Corey Joseph was in after the game was pretty much decided. No, definitely decided. Then Jonathan Isaac, a late scratch today. Didn't end up making a difference there, obviously, but that was interesting. Don't think it's anything to be concerned about, but he gets an extra night off before the All-Star break. And then the Magic shoot 41% from the field. Not great. But 32% from 3, which, again, by the league standards is not great, but by the Magic standards, not a bad night. Not a bad night. And they ended up with only 8 turnovers. Is that right? Wow. 8 turnovers for the Magic. Shout out the Orlando Magic. Way to go. You'll take that for sure. And then look at some of the team stats. Like I said, Magic win every quarter except for that 26-16 second quarter, which was ugly. I was concerned, folks, at halftime. Good grief. Magic only get 34 points in the paint. That's probably my biggest gripe with this game. You get 34 points in the paint tonight against, again, they talked about it on the broadcast, but that's a Charlotte team that for large stretches of this game did not have a shot blocker on the court. So you got to have more than 34 points in the paint. Come on. They do get 46 bench points, led by as many as 21. And again, only 8 turnovers. So got to be pretty happy with that. Get to be pretty happy with that. All right, a couple more thoughts on the chat, and then we're going to go look at the scores from around the league and updated standings, and then we're going to call it a night. Nice, quick little 25-minute post-game live tonight as we prepare for a new episode of the Six Man Show, which we'll record right after this. Let's see. El Mexico, I did see you on the broadcast tonight, which was pretty cool. So shout out. I saw you were in the chat here earlier. I wanted to mention that. Tristan says, we need Mac McClung. Well, I have good news for you, Tristan. We're going to get Matt McClung this weekend. Well, not Matt McClung, Mac McClung. We'll see him this weekend in the slam dunk contest going for a three-peat. Look out. That would be pretty exciting. Will we see him wear an Orlando Magic jersey this year? I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Jess says we should have blown them out. Should have blown them out the park considering the lack of players they had. 100% agree. Let's see here. Kevin says Cole's been amazing. Not gonna lie. Yeah, agree. He's been very, very good this last week. Braden says shout out Goga Blocks. Yeah, you love Goga Blocks. What did he end up with? I already closed that window. I know he had 4 in like the first half, maybe, or first 3 quarters. Yeah, shout out Coca Blocks. Omega Man says, Gary earning that paycheck? I mean, I suppose. Kevin says, I hope the Rising Stars game is actually competitive. I want to see AB and Tristan win something. That would be fun. Doder says, would you prefer the Pistons or Bulls to lose for that game standing-wise? I would prefer the Pistons. I still think the Magic have a run in them, a chance to move up in the standings and get to the get out of the play-in and into the playoffs. And so, yeah, definitely going to root against the Pistons. Speaking of which, taking a look at the scores, Nets are about to beat the Sixers. Love that. So the Sixers are the first team out of the play-in right now. And so anytime they lose, that's always good. Just increases the distance between the two teams, being the Magic and the Sixers, and decreases the possibility of missing the postseason altogether. So Nets, as long as they don't choke a 10-point lead with 43 seconds left, are going to win that game. How about this? Knicks only up 3 with 4 minutes left over Atlanta. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that one. Pistons, like we just talked about, currently up double digits over the Bulls. Bucks currently lead the Timberwolves in the 4th. Kings lead the Pelicans in the 3rd. The Heat currently lead the Thunder by 10 in the 3rd quarter. Are you kidding me? Gross. Suns currently on top of the Rockets. That second half was just underway. Nuggets over the Blazers right now, same thing. And then the Lakers and Jazz and Mavericks Warriors are late tips. Others didn't even later tip tonight. Clippers Grizzlies are about to tip off later. Celtics beat the Spurs by 13. Pacers beat the Wizards by 4 in overtime. How about the Wizards taking the Pacers to overtime tonight? And then Cavs beat the Raptors by 23. Those new look Toronto Raptors, although I don't think they have everybody from their new look. Let's refresh the standings here. The Magic now are 8th as it currently stands. This is before the conclusion of the Hawks game. The Hawks could jump right back up to 8th if they were to pull out this win tonight against the Knicks. If they don't, the Magic will be in sole possession of the 8th seed tonight. Unless the Miami Heat were to choke this game against the Thunder, then the Magic could conceivably end up as high as 7th after the end of the night. Or they could be back down to 9th. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Just a weird game, a weird time, a weird season. And I don't remember the last time a team needed an all-star break as much as this team needs it right now. So all-star break for the Magic means all-star break for the Postgame Live. So it'll be a nice week of no PGLs. But just because the Magic are taking a break doesn't mean the six-man show is taking a break. So you can absolutely guarantee to tune into the six-man show tomorrow. Again, myself and Jonathan about to record that. And Monday as well. We'll recap, Magic All-Star festivities on Monday's show and look ahead to the rest of the season that's around the corner. But yes, time for a break for this Magic team. They need it. I think we need it too. Us Magic fans need a break. Let's come back stronger after the break next Thursday in Atlanta. But until then, let's go Magic.